Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and you're watching
This whole ass nigga, true school sports.
I'll astound your eyes when I get down to the nitty. This thing's moving damn slow. Chill for an hour, then reach the mall and still walk through the corridors with my hands on my bills. I still pass crews that amuse me not. Can't distinguish the English when they freestyle and jock. Try to pass by, you stare me down cold. You try to find my soul, save your rhymes for the minds. Nigga, I break it down for your headpiece and give peace signs. And ride the shepherdese, carry on. Never do crime to all mankind. Make a line, feel the pain. I'm running out of time. The lies will get done. I never had a gun. I even you with trauma when she night bring the drama. Carry on, never do crime to all mankind. Make a line, feel the pain. I'm running out of time. The lies will get done. I never had a gun. I even you with trauma when she night bring the drama.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I'm currently waiting for these loads of clothes to finish washing up. You know, running some daily errands and whatnot. I'm trying to be semi-responsible and semi-productive today. But let's talk about the boxing news. Let's get into it. The unified heavyweight champion of the world, Anthony Joshua, he's been speaking to JD Sports, and I got the quotes via Boxing Scene, so shout out to the fine folks at Boxing Scene for writing this. I'll leave the link in the article in the description so you can come to your own surmise, okay? Now listen, Anthony Joshua, I love the guy. I've been a fan of his for years. I'm still a fan of him, contrary to popular belief. But I can't lie to you, man. I mean, he said some corny ass shit in the past. Like, I mean, do you remember do you guys remember after the Ruiz fight, maybe a month or so later, after he lost, he said, "Oh, well, he beat me because it was a lucky punch from the gods." That was the corniest shit he ever said. But this right here, I think this one right here might be the corniest thing he's ever said. All right, and I'm gonna get into why in a second. But here's what he said. He said, I quote, "Last year was a difficult time in my career. Last year was a real tough year. As a British heavyweight fighter, we never get the respect from the world media, which is governed by America to a certain degree, because we're British. Americans are going to take care of Americans. So when I lost, you take challenges. The goal is to win 100%. So now I'm going to have to get up because listen, I can't believe we're on quarantine. You know, I can't believe we're on quarantine. And you got Anthony Joshua talking to JD Sports, bitching and moaning because he's not getting the acclaim from the American media. I mean, the motherfucker gets all the acclaim from the British media. You know, he gets the acclaim from media everywhere in the world, but because he doesn't get it in America, it's bothersome to him. And if you guys can remember what I told you guys in the past, before he even signed his fight with Jarrell Miller to make his American debut, I was saying that, look, if Anthony Joshua wants to be a big star, he's going to have to make his name in America, because America is the entertainment capital of the world. You know, no country on earth, I'm sorry, I don't care if you're British, I don't care if you're Nigerian, I don't care where you're from, no country on earth impacts and has such a influence and a stranglehold on the entertainment industry like America. Nobody's influenced the entertainment industry like America. You know, you don't gotta take my word for it. Just go look at all the best movies and films and music and whatnot. Highest selling music, the highest grossing movies. They're all from America. So that's not me being a patriot or a radical American. That's just stating undisputed fact, whether you like it or not. Now, I said that a while ago. He will have to come to America to make his name, and then the Brits said, "That's not true. He can fight in the UK for the rest of his career, and it'll be fine." I said, "No, it won't be fine. He's gonna come to a point in his career where that gets tiresome for him, and he's gonna have to really challenge himself." But now he's bitching and moaning because he doesn't get the respect from America. Well, let's just look at it objectively for a second. You fought your whole entire career pretty much in the UK. And you had one fight in Saudi Arabia, okay? You came to America once, okay? So when you came to America on June the 1st, 2019, it was supposed to be one of the biggest heavyweight debuts for a British fighter or a foreign fighter in this country that we've had in quite some time in America. And it was, but for the wrong reasons. You got folded up. You fought a guy who, yes, we know Andy Ruiz is a good fighter. Yes, we know Andy Ruiz is a quality fighter, but for people who don't know anything about boxing, when they hear that you're this hyped up, undefeated, great heavyweight champion, and they see you get your ass getting knocked out by some fat, tubby, Teletubby, the fat kid from Up looking fighter, Andy Ruiz, then you're not going to get the respect from the casual fans in America because that's their first and probably only impression of you was you getting knocked out by Andy Ruiz. Did you come back for the rematch? No, you went to Saudi Arabia. You went to Saudi Arabia to get some Arab money, some oil money, you know, and fair play to you. You got to make the money you got to make. But do not bitch and moan that you don't get the respect in America. Because it's not because you're British, because the fact of the matter is Tyson Fury is British, and I believe he's more popular than you and Deontay Wilder. He's more popular than you in America, and he's more popular than Deontay Wilder is in America because, number one, he's came to America. He's backed all of his trash stuck up. You know, us Americans. You know we like. You know what we like in America. We like somebody who can talk shit and back it up. And you know Tyson Fury talked a lot of shit, and he backed it up in a major way. So that wins him a lot of points with the Americans. You know, in sports, I can say that, and I'm speaking as an American, we don't really like the politically correct type of athletes. You know, those aren't the kind of athletes that normally do the best in America. I mean, you have your exceptions. You have your guys like, you know, your Derek Jeters of the world and things like that. But other than that, it's few and far between. We like the guys who can entertain us. We like to be entertained. We like to not just watch great fighters, but be entertained. Tyson Fury is doing that. So you can't really say, oh, well, the Americans look after their own, because if that was the case, then why isn't Deontay Wilder the biggest thing in boxing? Because on paper, he should have been the biggest thing in boxing, but he's not. So it's not just about you being British or Wilder being American. It's a big country. You know, it's not a small country like the UK where you're competing with the Premier League and snooker for TV time, okay? We have the NBA, we have the NFL, we have hockey, we have college sports, which are huge here, we have the UFC. There is a whole buffet list of entertainment options here in America, okay? And for you to captivate and capture the American public's imagination and perspective, you gotta be special. You can't even just be good, you gotta be special. Okay, that's why Wilder couldn't catch on here in America, because he was good, you know, but he wasn't fighting nobody. He didn't prove himself to be special. You came to America, you didn't prove yourself to be special. There's only one, of all the heavyweights fighting right now that have come to America, only one has been able to entertain us. Only one has proven himself to be a special fighter when fighting in the States, and that's Tyson Fury. So, I mean, this is extremely corny to hear from Anthony Joshua. It really is. And you know, it's like, okay, Lennox Lewis. A lot of people didn't want to get Lennox Lewis's due, but guess what? You ask most American boxing fans who follow Lennox Lewis, that had a chance to watch him in the '90s, that know his career, they're gonna give that man his just due, because guess what? This guy is saying that Americans are gonna give Lennox Lewis his just due because Lennox Lewis proved time and time again to be the most consistent heavyweight of his era. You know, and he beat up on some top American fighters, some big name American fighters. You know, like obviously, you know, your Michael Grant, who was a top guy at the time. You know, you had guys like Hasim Rockman, who he folded up and beat up in the rematch. You had Mike Tyson, who wasn't in his prime, but that was still a big fight. You had Holyfield. You know, Lennox Lewis showed and proved, so he gets the respect, he gets the props, and we tip our cap to Lennox Lewis here in America. Even if he isn't our favorite heavyweight of that era, we tip our cap to him, and we recognize the greatness that was Lennox Lewis. So don't sit here and try to posture yourself and compare yourself to the great Lennox Lewis, because you are the same fighter that called Lennox Lewis a clown. And right now, you're really on some clown shit. Get your face paint on. It's getting ridiculous, man. It's getting absolutely fucking ridiculous with Anthony Joshua. You're better than this, champ. You don't gotta go to JD Sports over there in the UK and bitch and moan. You're a better fighter than that. And if you really want the American media and the American public, who, by the way, I'll be honest with you, by the way, most of the American public doesn't even know who the fuck you are. Just to be 1,000% honest. Nobody, like very few people know who you are. That's why you went to the Golden State Warriors game when they were playing the playoffs a couple years ago, and you sat courtside, and they put you on the screen and nobody in the arena knew who you were, okay? So my thing is, if you want to be known in America, get outside the UK, okay? I know you want to stick a flag in the ground and do right by British boxing, and I fully respect that. And you know what? That should be your first responsibility. But if this is really bothering you as much as you're saying it is, then gosh darn it, bring your ass back to America. At least get a win in America. You never even picked up a win in America. We don't even know what it's like to see you get in the win column here in America, because we've never seen it before. So I just don't get it. But that's Anthony Joshua, you know. And honestly, look, I'm going to bring this back to Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, because that's been a popular topic on this channel recently. A lot of you guys are saying, well, BT, I don't think you just hate Joshua. How does Fury cope being the favorite and all this nonsensical bullshit, these ridiculous things you keep asking me. Like, look, one of the main reasons I said that this guy, it's not going to be a competitive fight against Tyson Fury is his mentality. Is the fact that mentally he can't get to the same level as Tyson Fury under the bright lights in big fights. And it showed when he fought in America. You know, it showed when he fought in America. He can't handle fighting in the big stage in America. He can't handle them bright lights in America. You know, sure, there's 70,000 people in soccer stadiums in the UK, but guess what? Those are his people. He's comfortable there. He's in a comfort zone. You know, when you're in America, the lights are the brightest, they're the biggest, they're the best. Hate to say it, but it is the best. That's why Tyson Fury had to come here, because he knew what I'm saying. He knew that if he wanted to make it big and if he wanted to make his name truly worldwide and become that, you know, heavyweight icon, he had to come to America to do it. He couldn't stay in the UK. And the UK didn't love Tyson Fury enough to truly appreciate him, so he had to come here so we could appreciate him. See what I'm saying? Anyway, I don't want to make this a UK versus British thing because I have a lot of British subscribers and I have a lot of love for the Brits. I'm just saying, man, Anthony Joshua is out of his mind. Okay, he's out of it. He has lost the plot. Okay, and this is why he won't beat Tyson Fury, because he's worried about the American media and what they think of him, and he's worried about what the American boxing public, who most of them don't even know who the fuck he is, okay, what they think about him. To be honest with you. Now, is he more popular than Deontay Wilder in America? Probably, yeah, I would say so. But is Anthony Joshua a household name? Like, could I walk outside this door right now and ask somebody if they know who Anthony Joshua is? I'm pretty sure if I got this problem right now. I asked somebody who lives here, they won't know who Anthony Joshua is. They'll probably have a higher chance to know who Tyson Fury was because he was in a big fight here that culturally moved the needle. You know, it meant something here in America. That fight it was a big fight, big heavyweight fight. So Anthony Joshua is contradicting himself a lot, and he's just proved my point more and more as to why he won't beat Tyson Fury. Why that fight's not competitive, and that's because mentally he's not on that level. You know, and you know what? I think that's the biggest difference between them. He's mentally not on that level, and the fact that he couldn't get it done here in America shows that he's not on that level. Because, like I said, the Brits might have 70,000 people in the stadium and whatnot. They might bring a bunch of people here from the UK. Congratulations to them. But as far as the entertainment capital of the world and where the biggest stage is, it's definitely in America, because it takes more to get the attention of the public here in America because there's so much stuff going on. There's so much shit going on. So if you can capture the attention of the American public, then you've done something right. You've done something special, okay? And that's why Fury versus Wilder 2 was a special fight. That's why Tyson Fury, if he can continue to win and do well for himself in the sport of boxing in America, he's going to go down as he's going to become a global icon well after he's done retired. So that's just what it is. Anthony Joshua came here. He got folded up by some fat guy. Because that's what I'm not disrespecting Andy Ruiz, but when he fought Andy Ruiz, people who don't know shit about boxing, who've never heard of Andy Ruiz, that's what he was. He was a fat guy, a fat Mexican Teletubby looking heavyweight who could fight his ass off. I'm not gonna disrespect Andy Ruiz, but I'm saying that's what people see him as. And you're this big buff 6'6" Adonis bodybuilder, and you lost to him, and people can't even wrap their minds around that one. Like, people, you know, Anthony Joshua, when he got knocked out, I swear to God, LA Fitness and U Fit and all these corporate gyms, they probably had like a 500% cancellation rate just because of Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua got folded up so bad against Andy Ruiz, man. They probably had to shut down all the gyms because nobody wanted to go to the gym anymore because they figured, well, you know, if this fat guy can be heavyweight champion in the world, then what the fuck do I need to work out for? I could just chill at home and eat. You know, I could just chill at home and freaking eat you know, pack some double stuffed Oreos, and I could be heavyweight champion of the world too, like Andy Ruiz. Shout out to Oreos for you know, love Oreos. But anyway, I digress. You get my point. Anthony Joshua is being extra corny right now by saying that I don't get the respect I deserve because I'm not American. Like, sit your ass down. Sit your ass down, AJ. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't get the respect you don't get the respect you deserve in America, not because you're British, because that has nothing to do with anything, you know. You don't get the respect in America because you got knocked the fuck out by Andy Ruiz, and if you can't wrap your mind around that, then please, just stop talking. Stop talking. I actually want this to be my closing statement of the video. Okay. Now let me just clarify one thing before I say what I want to say. I like Anthony Joshua. I followed him for a long time. I've covered him a lot here on this channel. I've said many positive things about him. I love watching him fight. I think he's great for boxing. Let me first establish that before I get into what I want to say. Okay, because he's done great for boxing. The sport's better with him than without him. There's no doubt about that with Anthony Joshua. But what I will say is this, okay? For a long time in boxing, whether it be people in British boxing, because I've had people in British boxing tell me this, my people that I know in British boxing, as well as people in American boxing, as well as boxing fans tell me this, that the Anthony Joshua you see on television isn't the Anthony Joshua for real. That's not who Anthony Joshua really is. What you see on TV is keys being turned in his back and a caricature of who the man really is. He's just saying the politically correct things. But I've been told, and listen, I don't know the guy. I love to meet him, but I've had people in British boxing tell me that he was a bully when he was in his younger days. That he was a straight bully. He used to like go to the playground and pick up kids like this and bully them for lunch money and shit like that. Like I don't know how true that is, but that's what I've heard. Maybe somebody out there can confirm this for me. Anthony Joshua is beginning to lose my respect. He really is. For this nonsensical quote, because the irony about this is, while there's plenty of Americans who don't like Anthony Joshua, that don't really respect him because they think that he's soft or whatever. I mean, on YouTube, we have a couple of channels. I would say some of the biggest Anthony Joshua fans that I've seen are not even British. They're actually Americans, okay? People like Bruce Vane who love Anthony Joshua, or Andrew Tuckerworld. Shout out to Andrew Tuckerworld. He loves Anthony Joshua. These are American channels. Andrew Tucker's from Texas, I think, and I don't know where Bruce Vane is from, but I'm saying these are American channels. For Christ's sakes, I'm a huge Anthony Joshua fan. When Wilder's team was ducking you, clearly, and now I'm even questioning that. Honestly, I'm to the point now where I'm questioning how much of that was really about the money and more about Anthony Joshua just wanting everything on his terms, I don't know, man. I'm beginning to really question a lot of things because of this statement, It's pretty straightforward. And I can't even get mad. I can't even get upset at the LDBC for saying some of the things that 2 years ago sounded nonsensical. They used to call Anthony Joshua a bitch. They used to say Anthony Joshua was soft. But when you make statements like this, it's getting pretty bad. It's getting pretty bad that you're making statements like this, that you're not getting respect from the American media, when reality is you're on one in America and you've been stopped, okay? You're on one in America and you've been folded the fuck up. And you want to sit here and you want to complain and bitch and moan. And you're better than that. You're better than that, AJ. You're a lot better than that. So, I want the Fury Joshua fight to happen in America. I want it in America. Because I want to see how he handles fighting under the bright lights in America. Because I don't think he can handle it. He already showed us one time he couldn't handle it against Ruiz, who was a late replacement. There's no way in hell he's going to be able to handle it against Tyson Fury, the king of mind games in America, for Undisputed, with all that media attention on him. No way, no how. He will get folded up. And I'm wondering, if he does come to America and he does fight Tyson Fury, are we going to see the Anthony Joshua that is the real Anthony Joshua, the guy that we saw in the Jarrell Miller press conferences? Because we saw Jarrell Miller get under his skin, and we didn't really see the PC, politically correct Anthony Joshua who says all the right things, like stay humble, and has a cliche for every question in the world. We saw a guy who was a human being. So I don't know, man. I'm really beginning to question Anthony Joshua and his mental fortitude when it comes to fighting in America. As a fighter at that top level, I can't question that. To do what he's done has been absolutely remarkable. To become unified champion, defend it all these times, and do what he's done for British boxing. You can never, ever, ever, ever take that away from Anthony Joshua. But it's a whole different beast when you talk about fighting in America, under the American lights, on American soil, away from your comfort zone. And I just don't think he's built for it. Tyson Fury, he's built for it. I don't even think Wilder's, to be honest with you, Wilder's from America, and he's not even built for it. Straight up, if you want to be real, Deontay Wilder is from the damn country. He grew up in America. He's not even built to fight in the bright lights of America. So it takes a special fighter to captivate the American boxing public and the American public's imagination. Tyson Fury is slowly doing that. He's been doing that ever since he signed with ESPN. And you know, it's why guys like Mike Tyson were so special. Riddick Bowe, Evander Holyfield, all these guys. Even a guy like Lennox Lewis, a guy he didn't get the respect he initially should have gotten when he came to America because people were skeptical of him. They didn't want to give him that credit. But you know what? He earned his respect. He beat some great fighters. You know, even a guy like Prince Nassim Hamed. People weren't quick to respect Prince Nassim in America. But you know what's funny? I mean, I have friends all over the fight game who are my age or my age bracket, and they'll tell you their favorite fighter is Nassim Hamed. So Nassim Hamed, he earned his way. He earned his respect in America because you know what? He was entertaining. He was giving us value for our money. He was exciting to watch. He gave us a great fight with Kevin Kelly in his American debut. One of the greatest fights in the history of Madison Square Garden, which is no small accomplishment. So, you know, these guys, Nassim Hamed, Lennox Lewis, even a guy like Joe Calzaghe, you know, while he doesn't get the respect I think he deserves, he still got more respect than Anthony Joshua does because he came to America and he beat some named fighters from America on American soil. So it's nothing but respect to the likes of Lewis, to the likes of Hamed, and the likes of Calzaghe. But Anthony Joshua, you are not those three, and you need to hike your skirt up. All right, take your balls outside of Eddie Hearn's handbag and really make some waves in America. I'm done.
My name is Rachel McDonough, and this is my friend. Hi, this is Savannah, and we're here at the beautiful Madison Square Garden for the big fight, and you are watching True School Sports.